Have you an independent recollection that this language was dictated by someone on the back of this check? Yes, sir. You now recall that somebody did it, do you? Yes, sir. You did not seem to recall this check this morning, did you? I know we never left there that day. Stayed there all day? Until this transaction was completed, that check never left their office. I understand that, since you have seen it and you were quite surprised when you saw this endorsement on the back of it, you have a recollection as to who put it on, have you? Certainly. You did not put it on? No, sir. You did not dictate it? No, sir. I suppose that was dictated by someone else and handed to you? Yes, sir. Did you sign it then without discussion? I don't recall whether there was discussion or not. You told us here this morning that there was no discussion at all about these matters on that day. I still cannot recall any discussion. Do you still say there wasn't any? No, sir, never have said so. I said my recollection was that there was no discussion on that day. Do you want His Honor to understand that when you received that notation on that check, which you could not recall at all here this morning, that you put your name right on it without any discussion? Very possibly. You do want him to so understand? Yes, sir. So you and Mr. Jones, the minute you were handed this thing, which you say was dictated to someone else, you just signed on the dotted line without any discussion? The discussion was all had the 3 previous weeks. Was there any discussion about this language at any time before that? I don't recall. Was there any discussion about the words "in full payment of all outstanding indebtedness"? I don't recall. You cannot say to His Honor here there was any discussion about that before the moment when you first saw it on the check as having been dictated by someone else? Definitely not. You cannot say one way or another? No, sir. Yet you are sure that you know who dictated this? I am sure it was dictated in the office of the Smith Company. I did not say who dictated it. You don't know who dictated it? No, sir, I don't recall. You don't know whether Mr. Jones dictated it, do you? Yes, sir. You do know it? Yes, sir, I do know it. And you affirm that further? Yes, I do. At this time? Yes. You do know that? Yes, sir. I suppose he didn't dictate it? No, sir. And you did not? No, sir. But someone else whom you cannot name? I know it was an official. You said you did not know who dictated it. Are you able to tell us who dictated it? No, sir. Then you don't know how it was dictated, except you saw it on the back? Yes, sir. Then you signed it without any question or discussion? At that time, yes. I am asking you again now if at any time prior there was any discussion. I don't know. So you just signed to the effect that the whole indebtedness was paid without any question, is that right? No, sir, I did not sign that. And you cannot tell us any more about it? No, sir. And you have no means of refreshing your recollection to make any different statement? No, sir. Yet you are able to interpret it in the manner in which you did it here today? Yes, sir. Even though there was no discussion about it that you can recall? I cannot recall any discussion. I did not say there was none. However, you do adhere to the proposition that on June 19th there was no discussion at all about any of these matters? I say I can recollect no discussion on that specific date. Didn't you tell us this morning that there was none? I did not. Did you see the statement prepared? No, sir. You just saw it when it came to you. Is that it? It was handed to me there. No one told you who prepared it? No, sir. Nothing was said about that? No, sir. You don't know whether Mr. Jones prepared it and brought it there or not, do you? Yes, sir. I suppose the answer is that he did not? He did not. I ask you if you can look at these papers and tell His Honor again that you have an independent recollection that one of those papers was delivered by hand, and tell us which one. The letter of October 15th. What is the date of the other letter? October 30th. So that letter you know was delivered by hand? Yes. And you cannot tell us anything about the other? No, sir. Have you any memorandum anywhere which refreshes your recollection as to such delivery by hand? I can tell from the carbon copy of the letter itself it is written on Smith's stationery. In other words, by looking at the stationery, you can now say to His Honor that was not mailed to you, but delivered to you by hand. Is that right? No, sir. I am talking about the letter of October 15th. I said that was delivered by hand. It is from us to them on this stationery. Did you deliver it? No, sir. and it exchanged hands. They presented it to us and we signed it and handed it back to them. You don't know that that was mailed? I know it was not. You have an independent recollection that it was not? Positively. And have you any memorandum or statement anywhere by which you refresh your recollection as to what happened on October 15th with reference to that? Not that I recall. And you did not refresh your recollection except to see these papers here and speak as you have spoken. Is that right? I have been studying the whole case, reading everything I could get my hands on for the last 3 or 4 days. Yes.
It's too fast.
Too fast? 195.